What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. If your brain is anything like mine, torturous, it tends to use comparison in the worst ways possible. I'm constantly reading and listening to podcasts and constantly using the parts I admire of people as a way to measure my own worth. It's a dangerous game. It can be motivating and give you an ideal to shoot for, but it also makes you take a hard look in the mirror at your own beliefs and traits and skills and behaviors and patterns of habits. It constantly comes down to the question I ask myself: do I have what it takes? If I want a part of the life that they have, if I want to be more like the way they are in the way that I admire, do I have what it takes? Do I share the same qualities as this person? Or am I out of luck? Maybe in another life, I might be able to. And that starts his own existential dread of life and how much time has passed and how much time is left and how limited it all is. And it's really easy to go from what could have been motivation to dreading my own mortality. Here's what happens though. If you listen long enough, if you pay attention long enough, even concerning people who have every quality that you admire, what you realize is that they are just as human as you. If they are candid enough, vulnerable enough, real enough, they will share something about themselves that will relate to the lowest parts of you. And if you stop for a minute and take an objective inventory of yourself too, even while playing this comparison game, you will see that there are probably things about you worth admiration too. Redeemable qualities that make all the other ones not as important. And the things that you beat yourself up about, and the things you admire in others and feel less than in yourself, the qualities you hope to have and don't have enough of, those qualities or lack thereof don't disqualify you from anything. That the thing or person you are comparing yourself against might have the same flaws, the same quirks, the same bit of humanity that you do, and still they made it. Still you consider them to be better than yourself, which means that you can negotiate with yourself still, and the game is not over for you. That it doesn't have to be another life in which you get to be those things, to have those things. That no matter your starting point, no matter how low it is, no matter the burdens and baggage you carry, you are still just as capable and worthy to receive, to build, and to have. The reason we find it easier to believe in other people and less in ourselves is because of a perspective problem. And I don't mean mental perspective. I literally mean the view, the perspective, the angle. You get to witness yourself all day, and all the high moments and the low moments, and all the expansive thoughts and all the disgusting ones. It isn't easy to let yourself off the hook when you see so much of yourself, and the flaws threaten your survival, become insecurities and hyper-present in your mind, and overpower the good parts of you. This perspective problem doesn't come up when looking at other people. You only get to see certain parts of them. And even if you see a lot of them, somebody close to you, you will tend to focus on what you admire because you filter the world through yourself, and you will tend to see through what you hope to see in yourself, what you recognize as not currently present in yourself. And over time, those become the only things that you see or think about when it comes to that person. That's how you compare. But you don't get to see them the same way they see themselves. You don't get to witness the same flawed beliefs, the same despicable behaviors, the same degrading thoughts. You don't have the view of that, not from the outside. So your view of another person becomes skewed more towards the positive than the negative, which makes your comparison against them unfair because it's not apples to apples, not enough data to too much data. And to that, comparison becomes a failed endeavor in itself, because it's always unfair to compare what you know more of to what you don't know enough of. And you can assume the rest of what you don't see in another person, but you probably won't imagine the worst of someone like you see the worst in yourself. And so you exalt them with higher status than you while disqualifying yourself for the very things that we all share: flaws, shortcomings, sins. One thing that Ed Milet says all the time that sticks in my brain is that God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. To anything that you are called, anything that you yearn for, anything that you desire, admire, or aspire to, you are never disqualified. On the contrary, just the calling is the evidence that you have been qualified, have been ordained, decreed to succeed. And since not much is out of reach, what will you extend to first? What dream will you wake up and live? I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.